Hello guys, good day. This is Anne of Reinforce Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, I'm going to bring up something really simple today. Convenient, easy to do, anytime, anywhere, but powerful. I'm talking about igniting your inner guide with self-talk. You know the way you can always talk to yourself anytime, anywhere, wherever you are, in a heartbeat. You can talk loudly, you can talk normal, or you can just even talk inside your head to yourself. You can give out to yourself quietly, and you can even encourage yourself, in silence, mind games. You thought about when someone is talking to you, you're talking about, and there's some kind of talk at the back of your head. It's like, is this person playing mind games to me? Now, there are actually perfect times to use self-talk. Most importantly, to be able for us to gain clarity, right decision, even solutions. Now, I'd say that self-talk, other than going to therapy, talking to your, trusted friends, family, to soothe your anxious feeling, you can actually do this to yourself. Because, not those people we trust, it's not all the time that they're going to be available for us. Sometimes all we have is just ourselves, me, myself, and I. That is why self-talk is important. And I would say there are situations wherein we really need to talk to ourselves, like, making decisions. We need to think about pros and cons, problem solving, or especially those dilemmas, ethical dilemmas. Are we going to go ahead, for this therapy? If we are, that's just for example, if you have some kind of disease and you have to go through a certain therapy, but in some point, somehow the downside of it could damage some of your organs or some parts of your body. But, you have to talk to yourself. After all, could we carry the consequences of our decision? Not only talking to our spouse, to our partner, family member, people whom we trust. In the most part, we got to talk to ourselves because we are the one making decisions. Or if we have problems where we're thinking about the best and the right solution. So other than talking to other people, asking for their perspectives, we have to talk to ourselves before we came up with the final decision, gathering information, gathering options, and weigh things out, talk to ourselves, ponder with ourselves before we come up with a decision. Why is it important to do that? Because we are the one who made the decision. In other words, we are the primary suspect, whatever happens, whatever the downside is. We can't, it's not good to blame other people about our actions. We are the one who take action. So that is why it's important to really ponder things out with ourselves. Not only, asking for solutions from different people, even those people are expert. We have to weigh things out. We have to be, we have to stand on our decision. Otherwise, you're going to reap off the fruit of our decision if it goes well. However, if it's not, then it's not good to blame it to others. It's our own action. And in times of stress and anxiety, it's also a good opportunity for us to talk to ourselves like a coach. You know the way? Self-reassurance that in times of stress, when for example, you made a mistake and your boss didn't like it, your boss gave out to you, and then you have to take it. And after the session of you have exchanged conversation about the problem, and nobody's available at the moment to talk to you. It's way better to reflect and talk to ourselves, that reassure ourselves that we're going to be okay. Everything will be okay. This too shall pass. And you can bring yourself somewhere in a canteen, drink some cold drinks or coffee, anything that suits you. It's like you're treating yourself like your best friend by means of, you know, being self-aware about how you feel and helping yourself get your act together in times of trouble, stress, and you feel anxious. If you feel anxious, like another example is you feel anxious because you're gonna present a report tomorrow in front of your team, and it's your first time to do that. So beforehand, yeah, it's important to make it prepared, to be prepared in the most part. And after all the preparation, the way you have to soothe yourself, talk to yourself like you can do that. I can do this. You can do this. My name is Anne. You can do this. Anne, you can do this tomorrow. We've done our best, and whatever will be the outcome, we're gonna face it. Rather than, if you haven't prepared for the report tomorrow, then it's way better to prepare yourself to that. In some point, you're gonna mess up. You haven't got any plan or even prepared for your presentation tomorrow. So what would you expect then? Other than talk to yourself that, and there might be a high probability that we're gonna mess up tomorrow, but we're going to make it up next time. Or we can talk to our boss that we're not ready, or be honest, or whatever it is, we're not prepared. So in other words, we're being honest to ourselves. And once we're honest to ourselves, we can't lie to ourselves in a way. We can lie to other people, our self knows what's really going on. Even when we say that, I don't like these balls that I'm holding right now, but the back of my head, I know I love this. So we can't lie to ourselves. Me too. Everybody can't lie to ourselves. Although we can lie to others, but not to ourselves, not to the planet Earth, because the universe is watching us. Another thing is, another best opportunities for us to talk to ourselves is during or before, shall I say, before the performance, before performing. Not only in a presentation, in front of your team, it could be your first time to do something, something new. Like it's going to be your first time to assist, like in myself, my colleague, it's my first time. It could be your first time to assist in the first major surgery, like explore lap, bowel surgery. And, after all the training, this will be your first time. And you can coach yourself that, look, you've done this before. You've practiced so much. You deserve to be there. I'm talking to myself. You deserve to be there, and you can do it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be perfect during the operation. But you can always ask someone better until you get it right in time. So I'm talking about myself, but I'm using the second person, you, which means I, because I'm the only one who heard it. I'm talking to myself. So in times of performance, other times, when playing sports, especially when you are greatly prepared, like you want to be a big champ, like in the Olympic level, the way. And after all those preparation, it's important to really soothe yourself and coach yourself before the final performance. Another situation wherein, you can have a ordinary talk to yourself is, when you try to learn something new, like making a website. So you haven't noticed it that, somehow you try to teach yourself out loud while doing it, the things you haven't done before. So there was a time when I tried to create a website from scratch, and it took me time to even write something on the website. It's just a simple website, though, nothing special. Unlike those, some companies is going to offer you how to make your website and the AI does the job. What I did was, I made the website from scratch. I got it from YouTube tutorials. So yeah, it did happen. And along the way, it's like I'm teaching myself how to do it. Look, according to the video, this is what happened. Oh, am I doing it right? So there must be, have to move the font in front, so it'd be obvious. And then I have to put in the pay or buy, which way. It's like I'm talking to myself on the process. So yeah, if you do things alone, if you venture something new alone, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. Like, treating yourself like a good company, your best friend. Another, you know, another circumstance wherein you could talk to yourself out is in the morning when you wake up, or even before bed. Those affirmations, gratitude, and intention setting that now, thank you, Lord. Thank God I've have another day. And today is going to be better than yesterday. So it's like you're being intentional today, every day. And lastly, you can also talk to yourself when you feel lost. There was a time when I give a lift to someone to the airport for the first time in my life here in Ireland, in Dublin. And then after dropping him to, at the airport, I went to work and I got lost. It took me a while to really get to the right direction in spite of having Google Maps in my car. So that's how terrible it is. And then along the way, I was anxious, but in spite of being anxious, I talk to myself like, look, you can do this, you can do this. And if things happen, we can call the police, we can call someone to help us. There will always going to be a way, and we have plenty of time. So yeah, somehow I did make it. So when you feel lost, you can always talk to yourself, or overwhelmed about what happened because you're lost, or overwhelmed about what happened because you got surprised. Your girlfriend is pregnant, kind of way, and you're not ready yet. So yeah, those are the times wherein we all need to have self-talk to regain control of the situation. It's like, what are we going to do next? Am I doing this right? Okay? And how are we going to do the self-talk? Now, you could use the second person pronoun, you. Or in Filipino, ikaw kasi, but you are, I'm talking to myself. You've always been like this. Why can't you just change, when you're giving out to yourself? And in the most part, other than using your second person, which you mean you, it's important to be positive and honest. Because through that, you get to know what's really happening and you become self-aware. Rather than, you talk toxic to yourself, bullying yourself, you're not getting anywhere. You might gonna be, you wouldn't even dare to talk to yourself in those times if you just end up gonna bully yourself. Anyway, you'd rather be silent. And most importantly, though, in times of troubles, making decision, stress, before performing, when you feel overwhelmed or lost in life, it's important to ask questions to yourself. And the quality of your solution depends on the question that you ask yourself. Asking question helps you reflect and creates, come up with a solution which suits to the situation. Yourself, your inner guide, your inner coach will even give you some hint or tell you that you might want to ask this person who has good experience in this. And if you're not quite happy enough, you could talk to this person, another person, and then you can weigh things out. And after that, you can come up with your own decision. So you can actually create solutions by yourself, but by talking to yourself. You can even speak loudly while talking, but not to the point that all the people around will hear it. Loud as normal, You don't want to be screaming to yourself. Talk normally. If you give out talk, still talk normally and clearly. This strategy, or this way, it helps you process emotion and organize your thought. What is really the heck is happening right now? What hinders me in getting to the next move? What hinders me in making decision? What makes me uncomfortable? So asking question to yourself serves as reflection, and you can process your emotion, organize, oh yeah, uncomfortable right now because I made a mistake, and that bothers me. So at the moment, I cannot concentrate because I'm still trying to soothe myself. And after that, maybe for a while, maybe 5, 10, half an hour, staying away from the situation. Maybe that time I could just move on and go on and do the work again better than before. Now, practicing self-talk actually helps you bring clarity, come up with the right decision, right for you, right situation, which is not, although it's majority in favor of you. Right decision. Clarity means you can come up with a solution, even improved solution. It can even help you focus on what's really happening, improve your task. When you talk to yourself, it will even give you motivation to really do it with focus, intention, time-bounded, and with efficiency. And, if it doesn't happen today, if you can't get the goal today, you're going to be persistent because you have talked to yourself that, look, I'm not thinking twice. I'm going to get it done no matter what. Might not be today, maybe tomorrow, next week, but for sure, I'm going to nail it. Nail it right, whatever it takes. And one of the best things we can get from self-talk is that we can get to, get ourselves to regulate our own emotion, especially anger, negative emotion, anxiousness. That, in energy, when you're anxious, that it's coming, that it's there. And some women would often do this. Overwhelm. I feel overwhelmed. I can't concentrate. Anxiety. And helping yourself be aware about that means you can, what's really happening. You're asking yourself, then, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And to get relief out of this overwhelming feeling that we have right now. What are we going to do? So go outside, take a deep breath. Everything will be all right. And after maybe 2 minutes, drink some water, and then be alone in the meantime, and then go on. Face the boss. It's just, what I'm trying to say here is that self-talk brings you self-awareness. And having that self-awareness about what's really going on helps you regulate your emotion, helps you come up with a solution by clarifying what the heck is really happening to me. And you can't, people can't read your minds. But yourself, nobody can give you the best care ever, the kind of care that you want. It's just you. So, at any opportunity to show love to yourself, give it. Because, even our parents, our best friends, our spouse, they're just human. In some point, yes, they could be our heroes, but they're not, in some point, they could let us down. But if we make ourselves our own hero, someone who could save us, other than, if some of you believe in God, of course, God will help you by means of making you aware about yourself, by helping you become aware so you can bring up or come up with a solution on how to do something about what's happening right now, if there is a problem. So, I hope I shared something valuable today. If you ever love this episode, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, even an X, Reinforcement Club. By the way, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.